As we leave high school, we need to make our voices heard. Today, I was going to talk about TV and media and content because it's something that's very important to me. However, under light of recent events, it feels wrong to talk about anything but what is currently affecting me and millions of other women in the state. Recently, the heartbeat bill was passed in Texas.
Joining me today is Paxton Smith, a high school valedictorian from Texas whose graduation speech went viral when she used her platform to speak about Texas's heartbeat bill, which effectively bans abortions in the state of Texas. Paxton, thank you so much for joining me today on Shining a Light.
Thanks for having me.
It must just be an absolute whirlwind for you. You graduated high school a few weeks ago. Since then, Hillary Clinton has tweeted about you. Teen Vogue followed you on Instagram. I don't even know if you knew that. We know that. And Whoopi Goldberg is talking about you on live television. Who are you most surprised to have had speak about your speech?
Jennifer Aniston.
What did Jennifer Aniston say?
I think she posted it on an Instagram story and wrote hero.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So are you guys friends now?
No.
Okay. Yeah, so I just want to start by just thanking you for using your platform to raise awareness about the heartbeat bill, because I had no idea what this was and what was going on in Texas until I heard your speech. And I'm sure it's the same for millions of other Americans. And I think what was so powerful about your speech is that it was grounded in your experience and your truth as a young woman living in Texas.
Right.
So how can other young people remain hopeful and empowered to reverse this law and to make change?
Well, something that I've realized in the process of this is that people are most inclined to listen to the voice of younger people. So take advantage of the momentum that we have right now and take a stand, use your voice, say something about it, make some noise, because whether people agree with you or not, they're listening to you and they're watching what you do.
Well, and I heard there was a woman in the front row while you were delivering your speech who was like making motions like this, like as if to either she was saying we should cut off your mic or she was making threats. I don't know. We're not friends with her. But what did it feel like in that moment to be delivering that speech, if you could recall?
My mind was relatively blank. And I was keeping track of each sentence that I had gotten through because I just wanted to know where I was in the speech before the microphone would get cut off. It did not get cut off. So that's really all that was going through my mind.
That's what the pros call flow state.
Really?
Yeah, when you're just totally just present, your mind's blank, and no Karen in the front row can stop you. All right, and this is kind of embarrassing. I told my grandma that I was doing this interview with you, and she got extremely excited. She's a big fan. And so my grandma Judy wants to know, how were you raised to become such a brave and intelligent young woman willing to take risks for the good of others?
Well, growing up, my dad always had this thing he would tell me. He would always say, do the right thing. Even when it sucks, just do the right thing. And that was a pretty constant thing that he would tell me all my life. And then when I got older and a little more knowledgeable about things that were going on around me, there was a very open environment in the home where we could talk about that. And that's not to say that me and my dad didn't butt heads here time to time. We do, but we have conversations about what we disagree on. And it's a good environment to expand your perspective and not to be shut down. So I think those two things paired together really set me up to do this.
Yeah, and I heard you voice that when you shared it with your parents before you delivered the speech, they were supportive but concerned. What did that conversation, what was that like? How did it go down?
Well, I walked into the kitchen and I said, okay, I'm about to tell you guys something. And if you don't like it, don't say anything, and this will be it. But don't tell me you don't like it because I'm doing it. And I told them that I felt like I was doing the right thing. I still feel like I did the right thing, and that I was aware of the consequences. I had thought through them, and that in order to make the speech, I was okay with taking on those consequences.
I bet they're super proud.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the quote from your dad. Are there any other quotes or mottos that you think about often or that you feel like you live by?
No, that's really it. Just do the right thing, even when it sucks.
Can I tell you the quote I live by?
Okay, yes, please.
I get my energy from my inner G. Do you have any advice for kids who are thinking about becoming activists?
First and foremost, if there is something that you care about and you feel passionate about and you think that you need to take a stand about it, be informed first. Do some reading on what it is that you're advocating for, and do some reading on what the opposite opinion is about what you're advocating for, because you're not going to be prepared in any way to speak about what you want to speak about if you don't know enough about it and you don't know what the other side has to say about it. So just be informed as possible.
Yeah, that's great advice. Who said it? Beyonce versus Owen Wilson. Your self-worth is determined by you. You don't have to depend on someone telling you who you are.
Beyonce.
Got it? Yeah.
Okay, yes.
You know how they say we only use 10% of our brains? I think we only use 10% of our hearts.
Owen Wilson? Okay.
I definitely would like to do some more dramatic roles.
Oh my goodness. I think this is a trick question. Beyonce.
Owen Wilson. There's no trick questions on Shine a Light, Paxton.
Okay.
I don't like to gamble, but if there's one thing I'm willing to bet on, it's myself.
Owen Wilson.
Beyonce.
Oh my gosh. Okay. We're doing very poorly here.
That's okay, because you were the valedictorian. And to just be yourself and not try to sell anything or make a good impression, that's something worth striving towards.
Owen Wilson.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Right.
You know, if I keep saying the same name over and over again, at some point it's going to be right.
Wow, you were that person that just put C 1,000 times on the Scantron.
Whenever I run out of time.
Is there anything you haven't gotten to say about the Heartbeat Bill that you want to speak to before we wrap up?
Encouraging people to vote and to get involved in their local and their state politics, because that's the politics and the elections that are going to have the most impact on abortion rights.
Got it. Yeah. And thank you so much for being on Shining a Light. It's been a pleasure to have you.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. This was certainly my most unique interview. I liked it. If I get to talk about Beyonce, it's a good interview.
How do you feel about Sandy Cheek's portrayal of Texans in SpongeBob? She
was my favorite character. There's not a whole lot of like badass female characters, but she was one of them.
Sandy the squirrel was pioneering. Yeah.
Yeah.